Most of the times when we keep following the sports in these districts, it has a lot of impact. And I was speaking to a few, of course, journalists on how this could be done. But all in all, you will see that it's so challenging that districts are not, some of the districts are not performing well in the sports. Should we say maybe it's because of the sports heads or any other thing that has come in there? I got in engagements with the one or two personnel, like from Terego, also trying to find out what exactly this is. Now, Susie, to you, why do you think is the biggest problem in Terego?
Terego, honestly, there's been a lot that is ongoing. First of all, they have a well-built facility now that is at Leju, the stadium that is fully completed, and it's fully underused. But you literally fail to understand why Terego has failed to push in teams, even just in regional league. They have very active teams and clubs that normally take part in competitive competitions in the lower league division games. There is in 4th league division, even 5th league. And then the DFA, sometimes you find it's one of the most active with organizing trainings and all that. But then when it comes to the clubs coming through there is the bigger leagues ahead of there is 4th league and 5th league, let's say maybe a regional league and all that. You literally don't find the clubs representing. For those that have been going through or coming through to represent, you find they don't even last in the league. We some seasons back, we did have a few clubs that of course represented in regional league. The likes of Lille, was it Lille or Diria, something of that sort. We had a lot of clubs that were very competitive in regional league, but they normally don't last. You wonder why? It could be that some of the reason could be that in most cases we find that these people they always have issues, especially when it comes to the fan base. You find that there always chaos here and there. The games they play always don't end peacefully and all that. It could be one of the reasons why every other person had to withdraw from, I think, backing up some of the clubs that could possibly be coming in from Terego. But that really needs to be sorted out.
Now, of course, if you are interested at points that I tried finding out from a few individuals showed that, some of the affiliated personnel in these clubs, some clubs are affiliated to a few of the clubs. Remember, for you to become a DFA member, the rule says you should have at least an attachment to a club so that you understand the football world very well. And indeed, it has also brought in big things that you could talk about. One of them is how the change of professionalism has come, because people tend to take sides with their clubs, and unless their clubs may of clubs in West Nile, and there are a lot of clubs in, let's say, the region of, in the district of Terego. Terego has very many. One itself has like 2 to 3 teams. You have Opotani, you have Kubala that has, there are a lot of things. Now, I think one of these days I will first need to get to the DFA chairman and see what exactly their challenge could be, because it's one big thing. Someone could be asking questions about why exactly things are not going the way expected, how things may be looking into, because if you look at where the challenge has been, you would really not want to talk about the performance of this team. We saw in the zonos where some teams went up to the zonos and things probably did not work the way expected. In the zonos, we did see I think 2 teams that represented Terego, but all in all, the Terego side was not able to get through. So it shows you that there is always a lot of expectations from this, but after the pushing of some of maybe the teams, it doesn't work out. So I really want to say that I think club owners and the people who work in the DFAs, I still want to advocate that it should always be independent. Why should one be, okay, let someone be there, but not in a current team? because we are seeing this affecting the region so much to me, but it's again something that has been put by the Federation of Uganda Football Association. So that rule to me is one thing that I would advocate for a change that should be changed, because how about this happens and you favor your team? Obviously, when you're in a team or you're in a company or you're in anything, you will have to favor wherever it is. It is only the insane that will not have favoritism for any of the things. It's just like someone working for a company, and then you can't even say the best out of the company. That will be a lie. You feel bad when someone talks about your company, or you feel bad when someone talks about your club. So those are some of the things that keep coming. But all in all, I want to say that to me, that is what is killing us. And that's the reason why maybe Terego is not going so much, because a lot of people with different interests coming through. I don't know. That's, to me, what I'm seeing. So let's wait and see on what exactly that will mean for such teams. But if you look at teams like, I mean, the Madiokolo side, you would see also there's a challenge that has come through here and there, and a lot of things that probably will have to come in conjunction to a few things that probably you will have to push. So when these teams get to wherever they are supposed to be, you will also ask questions over how and where. Madiokolo had a few teams that represented, and out of that you have seen Nile Hippos go through. You have seen the team of Okolo Central go through, and that is another thing. Maracha is a new district, but of course also you've seen they have representatives, I think Andruvu and Okokoro United. So what about the Teregos that have been also in there? So for me, I want to say, I think we really need to look into how teams can get the best out of whatever is expected. But all in all, Susie, back to where we are getting in. Still, Regional League sees a lot that is happening. We did see that game between Nebi, though yesterday I couldn't be able to be there, but Nebi Central against Pakwachi Youngsters, so that game going well. We did see a lot of things coming in, but still, you will see, amidst all the good players I talked about in Nebi, I think, to me, I want to repeat myself, that the tactical bit is still lacking. The tactical bit is still lacking in a way that you can't see the best coming in from this team yet. They are trying, yes, they are 7 points, but we expected with the caliber of players, maybe with all this, they should be maybe even topping the table, which is not reality. So we have seen maybe always have such moments here and there, but do you see possibility? Because I want to say that Muzamil told us the reality maybe they should have given players some little time to see that the mindset is changed and all is sorted out. And I want to thank that is Youngster, because whatever we talked here, they took it positive to see that they work on it, and that's why the draw came in. Though they were home, but though they were home, you will see that this move or this change was very impressive. Now, maybe I'm told he's going to be having their next game against also, is it Alpha? A very tough game that is also going to be right through India. What do you see from the coming games?
The coming games possibly are going to be very tough encounters, but I see a lot of teams getting prepared to see to it that at least if all fails to go according to plan, at least they should come back with a point or something of that sort. And then talking about Nebi Central, this is a club that we really anticipated highly of. This is a club that we all thought this season, they have been in regional league for some time now. We all thought this time around they would be topping the table, just like you had said, with the caliber of players they have. This is a team that also during the break went down to the drawing board and tried to reorganize themselves from management and all that. So basically with all this, we literally thought that regional league this time around would be a walkover for there is an Nebi Central, but here they are still picking up draws. But then sharing in spoils at St. Mary's Barrow match is basically something good for them, for a team that travels away. And then there is that chaos that erupted towards the end of the game. I don't know whatever it is, but both teams were blaming the match officials for poor officiation of the game. Pakwach Youngsters, after the full-time side, the referees were against them. Nebi Central, after the full-time, also said the referees were against them. So both clubs were blaming the match officials, and this erupted into a little bit of chaos here and there. We did see tear gas and all that. So basically, I think both clubs within Regional League, whenever a club is beaten or whenever they don't get the results they want, they throw in the blame to the officials. But according to me, the officials are literally doing in their best, just like how there is still a lot of noise ongoing about the win that Ondupara Cup picked. The other time I hear it was, they say it is a controversial win and all that and all that. So basically people need to understand that what the match officials, the referees are doing is very, very genuine, especially in these lower league games. So most of the teams are preparing. We're seeing Kluver doing well. We're seeing Vison really needs to up their game. The other day they were beaten 7-1 over the weekend and all that. So for all of the teams, every other person is literally preparing very hard. I'm seeing Leah in high gears for going to, there is Nebi and all that. So basically, a lot of preparation is going in all the camps.
All right. Now, of course, that's one of the biggest things that you could be talking about, probably, courtesy of how the games are. But for me, most of the times, we may not have knowledge about officiation and rules in the game here and there, so I don't want to talk about the other talks. But yeah, sometimes it's true. Sometimes officials have also challenges that they come in. You would see that maybe they fail to get some certain things right. But all in all, still you would want to say how things should look, how things should move is very, very important. Because if you understand the game, you will always know that this game is so important for whatever course it comes. As I talk right now, the Federation of Uganda Football Association has organized, in fact, has invited its own, but there's an ongoing safety program going on, organized by the CAF, to see that teams get to know, or clubs, in fact, the security personnel get to know about the security, the safety. Every other member has been called upon to see that represents in there. But what does it mean? I'm trying to bring something that unless you get the knowledge of football, that's when you can do or argue with this. Unless you get the knowledge of refereeing, that's when you can say, yes, it was dubious, or this, or it was bad. So let's try to get to learn more about the world of sports. Let's try to know about the rules of football. Let's try to know about the rules of the game, so that we are able to see that things go well. So that is, for me, it shouldn't be an alarm that maybe here and there, or a game that is done is done. We're expecting to see other games, but a lot of things that are coming in there. Out of that, I want us to also still talk about the team called Airfield, because you would see that I think the mindset has changed. They are trying to get to the winning ways of that is the team. So things are going on well, and things are trying to change here and there. What do you say about this?
For Airfield, I think some little bit of pressure was exerted onto the management, the coach, and the players. Meaning, the pressure was exerted from up there. It kept coming down, following the hierarchy, I should say, up to the last person, there is the players. And basically, I think they were talked to, and they did pick that in a positive note. Because one, for you, when you're in a club or in a team, you literally wouldn't realize where the problem is. If an outsider comes and tries to advise you, I think every other person should take that on a positive. Because sometimes when you're inside there, you fail to focus and you think everything is moving on well and all that. And that is literally what happened with Airfield. They thought they were doing well, and not until a few people had to come through and talk to them and all that. And they picked that on a positive. And that's why I think they are doing it very well. They started winning from on Parambo missions, and since that day, they've never turned back. They're doing very well. Even recently, they had a city derby, I should say, where they did play Arua City and beat them 2-0. So basically, it's quite a very good one, and they are also preparing in, I should say, doing a double training sessions, morning and evening. That is at Giaco primary playgrounds in there are getting ready for the next game that will be very competitive that is coming over this weekend. So it's quite a very good one for That is Airfield, because really after they had that very good run in their previous, there is fourth league up to the zonals and all that, it would really be very alarming. It wouldn't be good looking at a champion not winning in games, not even draws and all that, and sitting at that position of the table. So I think for now, they did go back to the drawing board. They did good to actually realize very early, for now, they can still get to a better position in the table if they continue with the current mentality.
Yeah, of course, a very big one. And I'm told still a lot of things, a lot of expectations that will be coming in there. I was speaking to the CEO of Arua City Football Club that are not also doing well because of one or two issues. But I can tell you, the Arua City team is not for qualification this season. They still need to do a lot to see that the team gets to wherever they need to do, because I think I still want to say that the people at the city are not city lover, not football lovers. That's what I can say, because if there was a football lovers, maybe by now you could have seen change in the Arua City team. Let's say, complications of a few facilitations that probably are supposed to come in, which is not working out. So I want to say that the city, I believe, is not yet ready for this game, because if they are, by now, we should have expected a lot of changes from that is the team. What do you think?
For Arua City, I think I will just have to agree with some of the points that you have clearly put in here.
Yeah.
Because this is one side that, by the way, if you looked at their first two games, they started on very high gears.
True.
You'd literally realize and think that, oh, I think they've made a very legendary comeback. Probably this is how they're going to continue. And for those that have been knowing their previouses, for those that have been knowing whatever it is that is happening within the camp of Arua City, from the time they started, you'd actually ask yourself, hey, have they worked on their issues here and there and all that? But then they only were good in the first two games. I think after that, up to now, their woes of last season are still continuing, and you'd sit down and wonder whatever it is that is happening, because at the start they're okay, there is one game they're okay, and then after that a series of games you don't see them doing
the okay you're saying is about the draw, the consecutive two draws?
But possibly that was a good one, because at least they picked in a point there. How about now the defeats that they are picking, even with the teams that everyone thinks it's going to be an obvious win for Arua City, but you don't see them. And now the vibe in the camp has completely gone down. Even their social media is completely silent and all that. So basically, there should be a problem somewhere.
Okay, a very big task to that is the management of Arua City Football Club, and we'll want to see what exactly they will be telling us in. And if we have a meeting, though these days the chairman does not want to meet me. On several occasions I've tried engaging him, not because of one or two things, but because I want to find more about the club. Now, we did see the team of Koboko Rising Star having challenges, one or two, but I was told this morning that they have received or welcomed a few of their name players who have been out, because they have barely been with a less number. Now they have, I think, the one they were 12. Now they have over 17 players that they are going to be having, and it's going to be a very, very big one if you look at what exactly is happening. But at the same time, Tipsha will also be tussling Nyangilia Super Eagles after losing 2 games, I should say, with 4 points, of course, now. They will be looking forward to see that they wind up this, as they will be tussling it out against the newly promoted side. I'm told Tipsha has welcomed back Kanza Mohammed, I should say the best midfielder in that team, and then Baiti, the only winger missing, of course, in the previous games, but he's back into the team. I was also told that they have added some players, because they had only 13. Now they have added, that means 4 more to make 17 numbers with a massive preparation. We are waiting to see how all this goes that side of Koboko. So we are expecting a tough one, but a bad one yet for Tipsha, I should say. Yes, after 4 games, losing 2 is a bad one. But at the same time, I want to say Kochi Aban is a team that also we really need to pray for, because they're not doing to the expectation after very good, like 3 consecutive seasons being top-notch team in the region.
Coach Urban, I think there is something eating them up because just like you had said, we did see them literally doing very well in the previous 2 seasons, and this time around, you find they're even failing to win games that they're failing to win games where everyone thinks or everyone bets onto their side, as thinking that maybe they're going to win in this game and all that. And on the table standing, they are placed in a bad position, I should say, in the red zone, as they sit in the 10th position with only 3 points onto themselves. So basically, this is quite a very bad one for there is a Tipsha, a team that has been in the previous seasons being highly rated in there. And for Tipsha, I think for the news that you've just given us, Mr. Owen, it's quite a very good one. And we pray and hope that the people that they have received will possibly help them raise in their the games or the fixtures that are coming ahead of them, and also it will help them possibly register in wins that can also pull them from there is the 8th position with only 4 points to a better position in there, because Tipsha and Kochi, these people actually played in a game on Sunday, and we did see Kochi beating Tipsha 3-1. So basically, this is quite very challenging, because these are teams that have been highly rated in there. So I think for Kochi, they really need to sit down and find out where the problem is.
All right, I want to leave the regional league and cross over to the FUFA Big League, where of course Charles Ayeko has been appointed as the new Busoga United head coach, after of course you've seen that they couldn't really get the best in there. How many games have they even won is a question that you could be asking yourself. Now, can Charles Ayeko do something into the team? We have known him, he's a good coach. We have known his name has been up on this, but this time around he's coming into the team to see that he needs to really push the team away from the danger zone where you could be expecting this. Charles Ayeko is a good coach with, of course, most of the times he has gotten himself. Under their former coach, Erica Ndifuna, I could say, Busoga United has failed to register a win. In that is their opening 7 games, managing, of course, 4 draws and suffering 3 defeats so far. And as I talk right now, they are also a team that is seeing to see that they progress, because one, the Federation of Uganda Football Association launched a campaign about a community club, and thinking that of course the community will change whatever is there, but which is not the same with Busoga. Busoga, in fact, it was even the FUFA who appointed a few members to represent this in the board. Now, as I talk, the team is not doing well, and Ayeko is the man who has been brought in there, and probably he has experience. His tactics are good. Let's wait and see what exactly he will be doing to the team. But right now, 13th placed on that is the 15th table, means a bad one. That means they're in the red zone. Will Charles Ayeko change things for them?
It could be because by the time a club is parting ways with the former and getting in a new person, possibly the person they are going for is someone that is result oriented. This is someone who has a very high expertise in there is the field tactically and all that. So basically, I think we wait to see his first day in office. That will be a game day. Possibly could be coming over the weekend. Because for the past 7 games without picking a win, I mean, that is a very bad one, and no team literally would want to sit down and watch the club sinking into there is the table standings and all that. So basically, I think why every other club comes through to play big league is the mission is always one, to attain in that promotion into the biggest elite league in Uganda, that is the Uganda Premier League in there. So basically, for the fact that you're playing and you're not getting in results, trust me, you don't last in office. So for I think Ayeko, but it's going to be quite a very good one, and also a tough one, because one, there are a lot of expectations now. 7 games, no win, and you're brought in, there is a lot of pressure that you're seated in. You'll have to win in the first game in office to prove to the people that went in for your signature, to prove to them that, yeah, they literally actually came in for a good person. And this, I think, more of the discussions about how good he is will definitely come after his first day in office. That is after a fixture.
Of course, the club and the fans will be hopeful to see that this is going to be, this appointment itself will mark what is called the beginning of the much needed resurgence of this very team. So let's wait and see how that would be. But all in all, from what I know, is he's bringing in the experience into this. Is going to revamp the squad and install probably confidence, install, of course, confidence and then loyalty in these players, to see that they adopt and get to play the right thing, aiming to improve, of course, the squad and improving the team right there. That is the team of Busoga. But does it make sense for community club to be somewhere there? Because I saw Federation preaching, saying that when your team becomes a community club, it is easier for you to manage. So what could be the problem? Should we say the fundings are there, and it's just that the technical team did not have enough tactics?
It could be, but I don't know if anywhere in Uganda people have seen a community club living to a very high standards and doing very well. We've always seen a club that has been under the ownership of a specific person being left to the community, and it almost sinks and is barren, by the way. Not until they also pick it off and try to give it a new life, and then they see it again splitting up and getting in back to the old good days. Mbale Heroes, I think, is also another club that is a community-based club. But check at their position on the tables. Basically, I would say they're not doing so well. And their coach recently resigned. I don't know if they're good. So basically, for me, community clubs, a lot of decisions here and there, you really fail to get onto the specific decision to follow, because everyone now feels included. There is that inclusiveness that for the fact that it's called the community club, everyone feels that, yeah, we are part of it and my decision has to count and all that. That normally for me has affected in a lot of clubs, and for that case, they really need to do a lot and get to the drawing board and fasten in their seatbelts to actually get up onto their winning ways.
Okay, we're waiting to see how that would be. Of course, on a very good occasion, you will want to know how teams will be doing, but of course a very long list of clubs will be tussling it out in the FUFA Big League of course this weekend, because there are a lot of things that is expected from different teams to perform. Even him, that is Charles Sayeko, everyone is going to be waiting for what exactly, how will his first game be like. That's going to be the question that is coming in there. So when we come to 24th, this weekend, Arua Hill will be welcoming a team by the Black Angels, and then of course you have the team of Blacks Power taking on Calvary Football Club. Busoga United will be welcoming Bohimba that is Ginger at Bugembe, and then you have the team of Gaddafi taking on Mida, while Karo Karunji will be welcoming Chigeze Homeboys. Kataka Football Club will be taking on Chiinda Boys, and again you will be seeing on around 29th, Team Paina taking on Boma, before of course other games come on first that you will be expecting, like Arua Hill going to Himba, Chiinda Boys taking Karo Karunji, Maida taking on Busoga, Mtunga Saze taking on Gaddafi, and Onduparaka welcoming Blacks Power at Greenlight Stadium, and Paida Black Angels again will have to play a game probably by first in there. So let's wait and see how all these games will be coming. But all in all, those are the games coming, and we are taking a break. When we come back, I want us to talk about the Uganda